big issue with this Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis circus event is, okay, you want to make money and play around with Jake Paul? No problem. I get it. I want to make money too. But in this case, you're Gervonta Davis. You're one of the biggest stars in boxing. Everyone thinks you lost to Lamont Roach. So what do? I was talking to everybody in the industry, right? You were supposed to fight August 16th. Deal was done and everything. And then you go, nah, forget about the rematch with Lamont. I'll go do this, circus fight. That's how I feel. How does it make you feel?
I just feel, for real, I feel a little disrespected, like just on the business aspect, because you don't do business like that. Now, say if I were to go to arbitration, then what? Then you got to pay lawyer fees, or you put your promotional company in a hole where they have to back you because technically it's on them. They're the ones who putting on the fight. That's who I have the contract. That's who draws up the agreement, the contracts, or whatever the case may be. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy for you to do business wise, personally, and for the sport, for the integrity of the sport. Like, it's just like, all right, now you playing with the sport, like. Come on, bro. I just think that's a little weird.
And that's a great point, Lamont. You mentioned the disrespect, and I totally understand that, but there's also the contractual business standpoint here. You mentioned that you could take him to arbitration. Will you, or what's your course of action now?
I never said this publicly, but no, we aren't going to go to arbitration because I'm very well taken care of. I'm gonna say that.
Okay.
I mean, by the way, I disagree with everyone's. Get.
I'm gonna say without him though. I want to say I publicly want to say thank you to Haymon, PBC, and everyone who made things right on his behalf. Like,
a lot of people feel like Lamont Roach is milking this Gervonta Davis thing, but when a man owe you something, you know what I'm saying? When another man owe you something, he obligated to do something for it, bro. You ain't supposed to just say, hey, walk away, especially when it's worth as much as this. Sometimes, you got to walk away when it really ain't worth it. But the thing about when you know when to walk away and they don't really fight or scrap over it, it ain't the fact that it's worth dying over. A lot of times it's just usually respect, or it's the principle that get people, in a pickle, to keep it real with you. That's what get people kind of in a pickle, That's what get people in a pickle. But a lot of people, like, you'll see, like, the videos of the chicks be arguing at Starbucks and McDonald's over the order, and it turn into a fight. And now, the damages cost more than the actual, $2 meal or $5 drink or whatever it may be. So you got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. I ain't, bitching and complaining, taking about a $20 loss, sometimes $100 loss. It is what it is. I just got to know that I can't fuck with that person no more. I can't fuck with that situation no more. When it's something like this, you know what I'm saying? Like this is, an opportunity that can really turn his life around. People saying, well, forget about it and you just run off with your draw. Like, nah, we got unfinished business. This is my legacy. This is my family name. This is what me and my father trained to do for a long time. And we had an opportunity to upset the apple cart. He should be a man and running back. And it's holding another man accountable to the bro code. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these dudes don't have a code. And that's why it's so dangerous for a lot of, young men out here. It's very dangerous to clean ass El Camino. It's very dangerous. Because, one thing I learned when I was growing up, before I really dig into this video, I thought, and I learned this really, really quick as a young man growing up, I thought everybody that was around you grew up the same way and raised with you, was raised with honor, raised with respect, raised, to be on the up, not to do your people bad. And, and when you find out, people quick to fuck over you. The very same people that you show hospitality to, you open your doors to, you invite in, that you help be the first, they be the first people to cross you. They'll be the first people, when something is stolen, somebody, sent to the upper room, when, whatever, what they do to Kevin Hart, Kevin Hart, you know, one of the things I love about Kevin Hart is you hear how big heart he got, how much of a big heart he got. And then his very same people tried to like blackmail him or whatever you call it. And it's a dude that do everything for everybody. But you gotta understand, you know, you look at that dude over there in North Korea, Kim Jong-un, it's the reason why he ruled with an iron fist. At some point, he probably was meek and he showed grace and he showed leniency. And the very same people he showed leniency and grace and was meek to, they bit the hand that fed him. They fucked him over. And it don't happen once, it don't happen twice, it don't happen 3 times. You know, till you get to that point, it's a nice amount of time till you say, you know what? You know, when I'm feared, they think 3 or 4 times before fucking me over. So sometimes you gotta understand it's just a principle, bro. I get it, but sometimes when the principle is a $2 coffee, when it's principle, when it don't amount to nothing, you know, it cool. I just know I can't fuck with that establishment. I can't fuck with that person no more. I can't fuck with that situation no more. First person you gotta blame is you. You gotta take the accountability for the action. So for Lamont Roach, you know, maybe, hey, I should have did more to really close the gap. Or maybe I should have went for the knockout. Maybe I should have went to the body. I already knew this nigga, hoe ass nigga, when I was close and they was gonna take it from me. I knew he wasn't gonna give me a rematch. Now he said that Haymon, you know, basically, you know, in PBC, you know, basically made it right on Tank behalf. Of course they made it right on Tank behalf. What you think the Eastside Cruz fight was? And they about to fucking run and train on your dumb ass. You know, real talk. They gonna fuck you out the Cruz fight even if you win and send you about your way. And he right, going to arbitration, that's money, that's lawyers. And then, you know, even if they have to pay up, this could be a year long. So you paying lawyers up to a year long, where they pay you in damages, where they pay for your lawyers. What if you lose? You stuck paying for your lawyers. Now you in the hole. So what they did was, you know, went to arbitration. You know, they said, okay, we could just do this. We're going to overpay you for this fight. You could be the main event, even though you shouldn't be the main event. We'll guarantee you this. And he made a deal with him. So whatever he getting paid for Cruz, when he get robbed and he lose or however you feel about it, hopefully it's enough to carry on for his career. And it sounds like he's allowed to fight the Cruz fight and then go fight Shakur. But I'm thinking if Shakur and T.O. fighting under the PBC banner, they probably got it like, okay, you know, you can fight the winner of that fight and we'll be good. So that might be the case. That might be very much well the case. So, I mean, whatever, you know, floats his boat, man. Feel bad kind of for a situation. But, you know, you got to remember, you can't move out here like we amongst honorable men. We're not amongst honorable men. You know, it ain't about, you know, man's ball and his word. No, that don't matter no more. These niggas' word is as good as Canadian money in Saudi Arabia. Ain't no good, for real. So just remember that, bro. Like, these dudes, man, everybody, you know, out here in this world, they gonna do what's best for them. They don't care if it fuck you over. They don't care if you don't go home to your wife and your children and your mother and your father. They don't care nothing about it. They care about them. You know, when you got a whole bunch of people who don't believe in God, you know, who just believe in them, you know, and I was listening to a video that says one of the telltale signs of Satanism, you know, demonic, you know, demonic beliefs is selfishness. That's one of the main ingredients in Satanism is selfishness. You know, and you know, to me, it makes a lot of sense. You know, if you don't have no regards for nobody but you know, think about it. All the guys that wanted to blow up the world in the movies and the comic book movies and shit, they was thinking about how they was feeling, how the world made them feel. They didn't care about, you know, even if it was 100,000 people that made them feel that way, they didn't care about the other 300 million that might didn't do it, or the other 200 million that was actually really good people, you know? So, you know, that's another thing. Like, when, you know, a period of isolation, you know, you got to understand, man, you need some interaction, some human interaction. But a lot of these dudes, man, that roll around here, man, and don't think about nobody but they self, how entitled they are, and they justify doing whole shit. And then when they get jammed up, then they want to come back to the same people they fucked over for help. This is why you got to be hard on the nigga and you got to be harder on the bitch. Real talk. In the Bible, it say you can be, being too nice, you'll miss your blessings from God. But for Lamont Roach, I mean, of course, he ain't about to want to spend no money on no lawyers. You going against a machine. And for Tank, I mean, it don't matter to him. He don't care what people think about him. So at the end of the day, run off with a draw. And if Tank come back and he want to do a rematch, if I'm him, nigga, I want 90% of the purse. No shame at all, bro. No shame at all. That's crazy. No shame at all. And I always tell y'all, that's feminine for women, for people to do anything to make $1 and not have respect, not have a code. That's a very feminine trait. I keep telling y'all that. Women don't get the ridicule for, doing whole shit to make money. Even when it involves their child. They don't really get the backlash like that. That's a fact. They don't. Because we expect women to take the coward way out. It's crazy. Shit. Oh, we got traffic. We expect that. We expect them to take the cowardly way out. That's just what it is. We understand. We get it. But as far as a man, like, no, at the end of the day, you supposed to have some code. You supposed to be a man about it. You ain't supposed to do anything for $1. And that's how the game go. So, but for Lamont, shout out to Lamont, man. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe button. It's the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live and drop video. Follow me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Join the Patreon. Everything inside the link tree. Peace.